Hello, everyone, and welcome to this might be a special edition of 5 Minute Life Hack. I may put this out early just in case someone needs this message earlier. So, for the most part, probably many of you have heard about some of the things going on in markets and some of the things going on in the Trump administration. I am not going to get political here whatsoever, but we are going to talk about this topic, and it is really, really important. And it's something I've learned over 20 or 30 years. I've been advising people on this for decades. It's something that I'm trying to teach to my kids, and I hope it's helpful to you. So the title is Chaos, Just Breathe. And so we're going to talk about economics, we're going to talk about politics, but this can apply to personal as well. So this is more of a financial one today, but I think some really good quotes and more importantly, some really good life hacks and stories to maybe change your mindset around this a little bit, because a lot of the panic and chaos that frankly the media and social media and things are sowing is scary, and that's totally okay. It is frightening. There's some things going on out there that are pretty scary. So we're going to give you some very practical, tactical steps to get through it, and hopefully some of these really help, either just from a mental standpoint or from an actual practical standpoint of what to do in situations like this in your life. So anyway, hope this helps. Again, this is something that's really important to me, so I hope it's going to help somebody. So chaos strategy, whether we're talking about economics, like the stock market that's down 10% in the last 2 days. By the way, I'm recording this on April 4th, and so things will have changed 100% by the time you get this, whether it's a day or a week. But I think the lessons all still apply. So it can be in economics, it can be in politics, it can be things in your personal life. Whenever you feel chaos or craziness, how do we react? What do we do? Here's a couple things that I really like. So number one, changing our mindset. Here's some mind hacks to think about. So one quote that I love is, "It's never as bad as you think it is, and it's never as good as you think it is." So that's kind of almost like a Buddhist type saying to say, as humans, we tend to swing towards one extreme or the other. It's usually somewhere in the middle. Take a breath, turn off the TV, turn off the podcast or YouTube, whatever it is that's making you feel anxious, turn it off. Go do something else for a little while. Your dog is still there and loves you to death. Your family's still there. There's lots of things. You can still go for a walk. All those things you love to do are still available to you. So turn it off, change locations, change your mindset. Another one is, and this is specifically talking about stocks, says the stock market is the only market where things go on sale and all of the customers run out of the store. I think that's a really good old saying that's been around for 50 or 60 years. And we'll talk about it a little more, but here's a story that some of you may have heard before, but it's probably new to most of you. I heard an old tale, and I think some of these old wise tales or fables make a lot of sense. So there was a guy who worked in a stockbroker's office back in the day, and he said about every 4 or 5 years, most of their clients came in their suits and their ties, and they would have great meetings with all of their clients, investing in their stocks and putting money in. He said about every 4 years, they would have a farmer who came into the office who was kind of grubby, wearing his farm clothes, maybe hadn't showered, hadn't gotten in, new clothes, but he would come in with a sack of money, and he would drop it on his broker's desk and say, "Invest it all over the next 3 to 6 months." And, then they wouldn't see this guy for another 3 or 4 years. He'd come back in 3 or 4 years later, put the money on the desk and say, invest it all over the next, 3 months or something to that effect. And he noticed that most of the time when this farmer came in, it was during the bad markets. It was during the markets where things had gone down. People were panicking. All of his other clients were nervous. They were coming in every single day saying, what do we do? How do we avoid losses? Should I sell everything? And the farmer would walk in very calmly in his farm clothes, put some cash on the table and say, invest it. He knew that he should be investing when other people were nervous and scared. And that story has always stuck with me. And I think it's something to think about as you especially grow your career and your 401ks and things like that. Something to consider. So that's point number one. Is there some mental things to maybe change the way we're thinking about markets or chaos or panic in politics or whatever it is. The second one is how now that I'm okay, number one gets me to a state where I'm okay and I'm in a rational state of mind again. Number two is, how do I use this to grow? What can I learn to better position for next time? And so that can be in your stocks, in your 401k, that can be in your personal life. You can imagine 100 different scenarios, but when something really tough or really hard happens, how can I be in a better position next time? Meaning I'm using this chaos to learn and to grow. And so I love the saying that you either win or you learn. There's no such thing as failure, as long as you view it as a learning opportunity to get better for the next time. Those are the people I really learn from, is the people who've gone through real struggles, but use it to grow and to get better. So here's some context. I want to arm you with some data just so it makes a little bit more sense. This chart's a little bit old, but you can see all of these blue charts are the bull markets. So you can see the first one on the left is a 3.5-year market. It went up 193%. Or 34% annually. The next big blue section was a 14-year bull market, went up 800% or 17% annually. So you can see all those blue bull markets in the stock market for the past, 80 years or so, almost 90 years. This is the actual performance of stocks. Now, the orange markets you can see are those are the actual bear markets. So bad, challenging markets. So the first one starting off in the 1930s is the worst, the Great Depression. It's the worst stocks have ever done in the history of the stock market. And there was 3 solid years of stocks going down, and they went down 83%. That is a lot, and that is very, very scary. But if you look at it in context, you can see, boy, what would happen if you were actually buying during that phase and you picked up the next 14 years of a bull market as you watch your money compound at 17% returns? Yeah, you're going to have some pain during that bear market. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but that's when you actually want to be putting money to work. When markets, like that quote said earlier, when markets are on sale. That's when you want to be in the store when everybody else is running out. So just a thing to think about. Here's another one. Again, just very practical terms. You can probably see this little cursor a little bit, but there's a big green arrow. Do you want to be buying there at the top of a market after a long, long run? To be honest, we've all felt really good the last 2 or 3 years as all of our stocks and 401ks have gone up 10, 15, 20%. That's awesome. That's exactly why you're investing, is so that it grows while you're sleeping, while you're doing other things. That's what builds your retirement. But would you rather be buying there, or would you rather be buying at the red arrow when things have dropped a little bit, when stocks have got on sale? I always love when I tell people I'm investing, I love to invest much more on the red arrows than I do on the green arrows. Those green arrows make me really nervous to put too much money to work. So I do a little bit and a little bit. But when the red arrows start happening, I actually start getting excited. All those same stocks that I liked before, or companies or investments, I'm starting to put money in now. And that doesn't necessarily have to be just stocks, but your 401k, right? That's where you want to be putting money in, is as it drops, you get a lot more stocks for your same dollars. It's called dollar cost averaging. And some of you know about that, some of you don't. But basically, you want to buy things when they're on sale, not when they're at peak prices. So let's go to the next one. There we go. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, as they call him, one of the best investors of all time. His quote is, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." Now, greed has a terrible connotation, but change it for smart, right? Be fearful when others are being greedy, and be smart when others are being fearful. So we might be entering a time right now, not sure yet, but we might be entering a time when things are a little bit more fearful and people are more cautious, which I think is a good thing. We've been too, as an economy, as a society, we've probably gotten a little bit extended here. It's been a 14-year bull market right now. So we haven't had a recession in a long time, since 2008 and 9. So we're due, and it's actually good and healthy for the economy to go through times of contraction. It lowers interest rates, it increases investment, it resets things, and especially lowers inflation. So we've talked for the last couple of years about how bad inflation is and how much it's hurt us. Housing prices going up, rent prices, food prices, all those things. A recession is what actually counteracts that and helps keep a lid on price inflation. So in a lot of ways, this can be exactly what we've needed for the last 4 or 5 years, but haven't been able to get. So again, trying to look on the other side of what this could be. So here's some possible actions just to think about. These are all things I have done and I advised people to do, but here's some things to think about just to, again, increase your own peace of mind, your own financial safety, and frankly, to make it better for the future, to use this time of chaos maybe as a time of growth and a time of opportunity for you. So number one is, don't look at your 401k for 3 to 6 months. Some people cannot do it. They look at their 401k, they see that it's down 5% or 20%, and they're scared to death. And it's totally natural. It's totally normal. So the life hack to counteract that is just don't look at your statements for 3 to 6 months. Keep putting your money in, keep investing, ignore it for a little while, come back to it at Christmas time, come back to it around Thanksgiving, see where it's at. You're going to avoid all the stress and the chaos of the ups and downs, and you're investing for the long term. This is your retirement anyway. Increase your contributions to your 401k if you can. So if you're putting in 3% right now, if stocks are going to start to go on sale, maybe you put in 4%, 5%, 6%. If you can, this is a great time to increase your investment and buy things when they are on sale. So I know it's really hard to do and it's very counterintuitive. I promise you, over a career of investing, you will be extremely happy you bought at these moments, at the scarier moments. And here's what I always say. If I invest right now, I'm actually hoping it drops another 10 to 20% because I'm going to put more in then, right? I want it to drop. I actually do. So is it nice if it goes up and I make money immediately? Fantastic. But if I'm being real, I'm not putting all my money in right now, but I'm starting to put some money in. So if I have a 3% contribution, change it to 4 or 5 and start putting more money in a little bit at a time as it dips. And if I put money in now and it dips another 10%, my response should be like Jocko Willink. I should say good. If it drops another 5, I should say good, because I'm getting things on more and more sale and it will eventually come back. So number 3, be smart and build your savings by 10% over the next 3 to 6 months. This is like adding peace of mind to yourself. So if you have a $1,000 savings account, boost it to $1,100, boost it to $1,200, boost it to $1,500. Do it $20 at a time. Don't be crazy about it. Don't be, Don't destroy lots of your lifestyle and things like that. Just be prudent and smart. Build that up a little bit more for next time, so that as this happens again, okay, I've got a bigger savings account. I can weather this. I'm okay. Not a big deal. So that will help substantially. Sorry. And the last one is, see if you have any unnecessary expenses you can cut. Recessions are really good for companies. They can also be really good for households, because you start to look at things and say, do I really need that subscription or that thing or that extra shirt or pair of shoes or whatever it is? You start to get more intelligent about your spending. And I think that's always a good thing, whether it's a country or a business or a household. So those are a couple ideas to think about. Biggest thing is recessions are going to happen. You're probably going to have 4 to 8 of them over your working lifetime. And that's okay. What you want to do is you want to be in a good position, both from a financial perspective and a mental, personal perspective, to be able to not only weather the storm, but to actually take advantage of it. And I hope some of these things help. Appreciate it. These are super important. These are things that I've done in my life because I've gotten some great mentoring over the years, and they've really, really helped. And so I appreciate it. I know if you're really stressed, it's normal. It's okay. It's normal, but use some of these strategies and it will change your perspective, and it will make you a better investor, a better person, a better friend. So anyway, go make an impact, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.